My daughter was groomed and trafficked and tortured from Manchester. Imagine your daughter being raped by over 60 Muslim men and not being able to do anything. I push more now for accountability with professionals, social workers, Great Manchester Police, politicians, local councillors, because they all covered up the rape of my child.
This is a national crisis. So even families I speak to in, let's say, Norfolk, exactly the same patterns. So I'm not surprised. The general public might be surprised, but as a father, I'm going through what I've gone through. It doesn't surprise me one bit. If you look at this, they're all Labour-run councils, and I can experience in Tameside the cover-ups that they've done with my daughter, and they don't want to open that up because it will destroy the party. The Rape Gang inquiry is going to be published today, which will expose a lot more of this. They've identified 700 survivors. There's going to be thousands. The issue is, and I speak to a lot of survivors around Greater Manchester, and a lot of them haven't come forward yet to the police because they don't have any trust in the police. Rupert was the only politician that would support me. I went to Jess Phillips and she put a hand in my face and said, no, we don't need a national inquiry into grooming. For example, with my daughter, to date, they still say she hasn't been groomed, but the evidence is overwhelming. I strongly believe around accountability. Obviously, the people who are grooming the children should go to prison, but also accountability of professionals. And I feel really strongly on this. Where there is clear evidence of covering up of safeguarding and non-discussion for whatever reason, because they don't want to be seen as being racist, prosecutions should happen to professionals. I feel absolutely manipulated, not by just Jess, but the Labour Party. Greater Manchester Police, when my daughter was 14 years old, who'd been missing for 2 weeks, the police found her and strip searched her after having 2 weeks of rape. What I want, going back to what you've said, is accountability. For example, with my daughter, she had a social worker who didn't protect her. This is where I get really, really upset. They didn't protect her and they still have a code of conduct. Because they didn't want to be called racist or there was having political pressure, that doesn't matter. The child is paramount within this, and keeping the child safe, which is what they've not done. This is one of the biggest papers what's ever been published on grooming. We've been extremely transparent, yet we're not getting any kind of recognition from the media. Personally, I think it's appalling. More so for all the survivors who've been involved. They want a voice for this. Eventually, the 2 officers text me and said, "Your daughter is safe. She's with her friend." So the police left her there with the groomer. This isn't just happening in Rotherham or Rochdale. This is happening all over the country. And local authorities and professionals and Parliament are covering this up, and it has to stop. Where you are now, I am so proud of you on a different level. Sorry. Because you come so far. This moment now, compared to how you looked at 14, 15, 17, you've just come so far.